2020 started off with a bit of a bang. Got drunk with some friends, had a really good night. School was dead, life was good. After months of being back at school, yada 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 on a little bit, and you get it, Corona.
Good evening. All schools across Britain will close by the end of the week until further notice.
We were told that school was going to be ending on the 21st of March, and we were told this on the 19th. So with only 2 days to celebrate leaving the school that we've been at for the past 7 years roughly, we put together some really weird little pranks and a Nerf war as well. I had no idea that that was actually the last time that I was ever going to be there. With all the sappy stuff out of the way, it's time to get into lockdown. Sitting on the balcony, tanning, reading, and barely being allowed outside. Fun times.
I am so goddamn bored.
Skip past the next few months because it was just completely dead and very boring, and you get to the point where me and my friend Nick decides that we're going to go travel Europe because fuck all of this. But we had absolutely no clue how to live the van life we were planning on living out of a camper van, so we decided to do a little tester trip to Cornwall with a couple of friends just to see how it went. During this trip we learned to surf. The weather was absolutely dreadful. It was cold and wet and horrible. It was really cramped in the van, but we learnt a lot, and after this we felt so much more confident to go and live the van life. Skip forward again because I'm just trying to keep this fast paced. Me and Nick end up in Calais, France after a nice long drive through the Eurotunnel and everything. We pull over and we realise we have no idea really where we are and what we want to do. Yep, that's right, we didn't plan anything.
Alright boys, we've officially arrived in France. Woo! France is boring.
And we don't like wine.
So we started planning, put our very hastily prepared route into Google Maps and set off. Surfing was our first stop, and although I wasn't very good at it, it was still a hell of a lot of fun. Third week of the trip was spent in the mountain range called the Pyrenees, which is bordering France and Spain, and we had to endure some of the hottest, stickiest and most uncomfortable conditions, all whilst hiking up mountains, where we found it very hard to stay en route, and we also ended up sleeping in some of the most stunning places, like waking up to just the most incredible views.
Jesus. I'm not gonna lie, it is like unbearably hot. Like 40 degrees earlier, it's down to like, what, maybe 38 now?
Week 4 was dead. Don't ever go to this part of France, it is boring as hell, there was absolutely nothing to do. So because we were so bored, we decided to actually spend money on doing something and went to a water park.
We're actually at a water park. We've paid to do something for once.
Weeks 5 and 6 of the trip was a bit of a change of scenery. Me, Sophie, Nick and Nick's family, we all went to Mallorca where Nick's family was staying in a villa, where I tried cliff jumping for the first time, and we just had a really good like 4 or 5 days as a group.
Alright guys, I can finally let you know where our flight has landed. We are in Mallorca!
Week 7 and 8. Week 7 started off with a bit of a crisis. Nick decided, so he was flying from Mallorca to Barcelona, Nick decided to leave the keys to the van that we were going to be, living in for the next month or so again. He decided to leave them in Mallorca, so Nick's family had to literally give the keys to this random guy that was on the same flight to Mallorca, a random guy called Geordie, and he actually got them to us. He actually got us the keys.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. The van keys, the keys to the van that we were planning on living in for another 2 weeks at least, they're in Mallorca. Nick's dad Martin has found this random Spanish guy called Geordie, who was in Mallorca at the time, and he's given him the van keys. He's actually going to fly from Mallorca to Barcelona and give us the keys. We're going to see Geordie in a minute.
Geordie, 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 Geordie. Oh my god, you're a saviour.
The next 2 weeks we spent in Germany because we had to spend 2 weeks outside of a high coronavirus case country. But it was actually a bit of a godsend because I've never been to Germany and I had a fantastic time. One of the best few days that we had was in a town called Oberstdorf, just below the Alps, where it was just awesome. It was sick.
Oh my god. We are finally here. Turns out Nick was not lying when he said that this is just incredible. What's it called again?
Kaiserschmarrn.
Kaiserschmarrn. It is. Oh my god, it's just so good.
To pay our true to it anyways. The lake's cold apparently. And Nick literally was just saying like, yo, wouldn't it be cool if we found a rope swing? And then we found this. Alright, let's do this! Yeah!
After a very uncomfortable coronavirus test, very long drives back home, we arrived back in the UK with high hopes of seeing friends again and potentially another trip. Only one of these things would happen. The second van trip was actually cancelled. For about a day. Nick texted me the next morning saying how wrong it felt to be doing this since we had the opportunity, so I zipped back to his on my bike and we started planning everything back out. With the second part of the van trip underway, we started out flying back to the van in Stuttgart airport, which is where we left it. Then we drove all the way down into Italy, past Austria and Switzerland. So we found that we started off in Italy in Lake Garda, which is the largest lake, no, not in Europe, largest lake in Italy. And we found an abandoned hotel nearby, and you can see how that went.
Alright. Oh, okay, that's open. Let's go!
The next stop on this trip in Italy was Venice, which was one of Sophie's bucket list locations, so she was really excited to go. And honestly, I'm very glad I went. It should be on everyone's bucket list. It is an incredible place. After Venice, Sophie flew home, and then it was just me and Nick, which it felt really weird just being the two of us again. It just didn't feel right. But after a little bit of uncertainty and sort of embracing this discomfort, I guess, we decided on an absolutely crazy new plan, which also didn't happen. But we did spend a hell of a lot of time in Croatia, which was quickly becoming one of my favourite new countries that I've been to, because it was just so different and so gorgeous. And it was on this part of the trip that I actually managed to break a huge mental barrier.
Alright, you got this, full send. Count yourself down from 300, send it out. Think about it after. Let's go! Yes! Yo!
Our plan obviously was to go all the way to Greece and then back up, but that wasn't going to happen because of borders. We almost got stuck in Montenegro. Then our plan was to take a ferry from Croatia to Italy, but that wasn't going to happen because it was illegal. So we looked at the coronavirus cases and the fact that the UK was probably going back into a lockdown, and we just sent it all the way back up to Germany, which is where Nick is now, and I flew home. 4 countries in 13 hours. That was a stressful drive. Congrats, Nick.
It's 4 AM. Oh, let's get home.
And honestly, that's it. The van trip. It was absolutely crazy, very poorly planned, and so much stuff went wrong. But genuinely, if I had the chance to go back and change it, I wouldn't. I'm like a completely different person to who I was before, and I'm so glad I've had all these crazy and wacky experiences because I have all of these amazing stories to tell. And despite lockdown and all of these annoying tears and everything, I've still been keeping myself entertained and doing some fun things with friends.
Hollywood perfect. That's
Yeah.
how it goes. Hollywood perfect.
Yo!
Hollywood perfect.
Yeah, let's go go-karting.
That's how it goes. Hollywood perfect.
Again, champion. Screw this guy. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not including this in the video. Competitive dad. No, get off. Well, I have done it! Like, comment, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. Catch you guys in the next one.
So, to end this off, congratulations. You made it to the end of 2020. Hello?